Hello and welcome back to segment 2 of the Definitely Football podcast. This is the LOI recap section, and I have producer Mus joining me. There's been a lot of games in the League of Ireland. There's been 10 First Division games. There's been the normal 5 Premier Division games. We'll start off on Friday's Premier Division games with Dundalk Sligo. Obviously Sligo have been in poor form. They've been their bottom. But they were able to snatch a late point.
I think that's a good point for them away from home. Like you know, when you're sure we know how that feels like with City. Like when you're
we were lucky to get it. We'd be lucky to get an away point.
Yeah, I know, but like, no, that was definitely good for them.
I think when you're in that position, like when you're in that position of, as you said, we know it all too well. When you're in that position of dogfight out of the relegation places, even like scoring a late goal for a point, that can do a lot for your mentally.
Yeah.
Like definitely. That can buoy you for future games. Especially Dundalk have been doing so well, and when you get a late equaliser, as opposed to if they went 1-0 up and then conceded, it's for a team in that position, it's really different from the opposite way around, and I think that's going to really help them going in because Waterford are flying. We'll get onto them in a second, but like, yeah, as for Dundalk, it's probably, you know, when you're at home, you wanna finish out those games, especially if they're looking to get in Europe. Another team that is probably struggling is Drogheda.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing too bad. Like, they're not.
Yeah.
I don't think they're in that serious threat of relegation.
No.
I mean, well, no. How many points are they? Drogheda. I suppose they are only 2 points above 9th, but like, I don't know. I feel like I can't see them finishing below Waterford.
No. They're
Waterford
better.
Have just been so poor. Like.
They're doing well under Graham Cullen at the moment, but I just don't. Yeah, I don't see that Drogheda squad coming below Waterford, but it is worse than what they'd want to be doing.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
We've touched on it.
Like them, they'd probably be hoping push for Europe, stuff like that.
Get come top half type thing.
Yeah.
And I just think when, like we've touched on kind of Drogheda's shortcomings, we'll be a bit positive here because they actually did well here. With a point at home to Shamrock Rovers. Shamrock Rovers' depth's ridiculous. Look, they're balancing Europe. We saw it with our own 2 eyes. Even though you weren't there, but you know we saw it.
I was watching.
Yeah, exactly. We saw it. We got killed by Shamrock Rovers.
They're proper team.
Yeah, they're just. And I think it is quite impressive for Drogheda to be able to hold them scoreless like that, especially when they're in the middle of they're moving in Europe. They just got knocked out by Ararat Armenia. They want a point. They have a point to prove.
Yeah.
And to be able to hold a hungry Shamrock Rovers team, that's quite impressive, I think.
Yeah.
So they were the 2 games on Friday. We move on to the Sunday games. I think the story of the Sunday games was probably Waterford beating Shelbourne.
Yeah, I think that was brilliant for Waterford. Like, very, very good win for them. Like,
you come. Like we've been very harsh of Waterford, especially. Oh my god, we were very harsh of Waterford, especially at the start.
Yeah, I think they've improved as the season has gone. I think at the start they were absolutely
since getting
since
getting Graham Cullen in.
Yeah,
they're especially defensively they've had a huge turnaround.
Yeah.
Benny Couto has been a huge player for them, under Graham Cullen. Which is really frustrating, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
Because Jernash just decided not to play him for half the season. Like they've been on really good form. They did really well to beat Shelbourne. Shelbourne didn't help themselves. It's a poor mistake from Paddy Barrett.
Yeah.
It's a poor mistake from Paddy Barrett.
Good finish from Tommy Lanigan though.
It's a great header.
It's
a great header. Like you'd struggle. Like if he had that chance again, I don't know. Does he score? How many times he scores?
He's a good player though.
He's a great player.
He probably has to leave Waterford.
They only got him because their sister club at Waterford or Fleetwood. That's the only the only reason they got him. And I think, he probably deserves a move to like a Derry.
Yeah.
A Pats
Derry
again. Derry could definitely do with him. Well, I suppose they're kind of struggling. They just signed Tyler Smith, I believe, from Rochdale as a striker.
No, nothing about him.
Neither do I. I just saw it during the week. But yeah, great. Shelbourne are in trouble.
Yeah,
they're not in trouble relegation wise, but their fans aren't happy at all.
I mean, like They are,
John Russell.
Again, it's kind of the same with Waterford, or no, not Waterford. Sorry, Drogheda. Whereas like they're not in a crisis kind of situation, but they should be performing
Yes, 100%.
much better than there. Like they're 5th now. They're how many points off Europe?
They're not getting Europe.
Yeah,
they're
like
not getting it. Not with the way they're playing. John Russell hasn't had the impact they would have wanted John Russell to have. And all I want to say is I said it when John Russell came in. It seems like it could be one of those situations that you've seen in the Premier League before, where a manager who does really well with a smaller club comes into a bigger club and doesn't perform.
Yeah.
And I don't think the players can go blameless either. Like, some of the players, and Milan Mbeng is one of them, and I can't say I'm fucking surprised.
A lot of Shells fans getting pissed at him.
And I can't. Yeah, I hate to say I told you so. Tigers don't change
his attitude is definitely stinks. Like,
yeah,
so
and
we saw it at City. Like,
there's a couple of those players in the Shells team that aren't.
He's a great player, but like,
yeah. Oh, mate, he's brilliant for the first 2 months you have him.
yeah.
And then when he gets bored, gone. There's a few Shells players in there too where they're just not doing enough, and you can't float by in the League of Ireland Premier Division with players who just are happy to be there. You need a bit of grit, and that's what the league's about. Another team that probably doesn't have grit is Derry.
Derry, yeah, very, very disappointing. Like
they got, to be fair, they got away with it with the James Clark's brilliant finish.
Yeah, it was a great goal.
But obviously, James McClean during the week with his post on Instagram.
Yeah, what is that? What happened with that? I don't know the full
so
story there.
Generally, since he's joined, he's been very active on Instagram, talking about his situation at Derry, for good or for bad. And last week or during the week, he posted something after Derry got knocked out of Europe, where it was like, we're all disappointed, blah blah blah, and then it went like, but the players are more than good enough to win, so the problem lies elsewhere.
Yeah, it was dig at
Tiernan Lynch.
Yeah.
He also turned up in a hat that said Joker on it. Maybe people are looking too much into that, but that's just another thing. And then he did an interview during the week where he was kind of talking about Tiernan Lynch a little bit, and now he's coming off Instagram, and it's been very messy since he arrived at Derry. And not only has it been messy for him, but generally at Derry it's been quite messy.
He's been off doing punditry and stuff, you know, when he should be focusing on his football.
Ooh.
It's all I'm saying.
Okay. No, I think you might end up on James McClean's Instagram story now. No, look, I think James McClean is. It's sad a little bit that it hasn't worked out, because he's obviously a good footballer and he's been a great servant for Ireland. The reunion just hasn't worked, and it's going a bit sour now. Yeah. And I think
bit like Ronaldo at United as well.
I think there's just a point where you have to cut ties at some point, and you just have to cut your losses. Equally, St. Pat's
but I don't think him posting all that stuff on Instagram is helping the situation.
It's probably not.
I don't think it is.
It's probably not. Yeah, I do think that it probably makes stuff worse, because it's his and that's probably why he's stepping away from Instagram and stuff for a bit.
Yeah.
Because it probably just amplifies the situation when that happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone, it's being amplified for everyone to see. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going on loudspeaker for the public to see.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not great. And
another thing about Derry, are they in threat of being dragged into a relegation battle? Potentially.
Objectively, yes. As in points wise, yes.
They are only 5 points above Waterford in.
And Waterford are in great form.
Yeah, they just won.
Waterford were quite a way adrift last.
Yeah, they were.
So there's no guarantee that they can't make up that.
I'll get up the table there.
There's no guarantee that they can't make up that points difference. Like.
Yeah, only 8 like that. They won't.
Yeah, they're 4 points above Waterford.
Sligo were nearly nailed on for bottom. Like,
yeah. To be fair,
lacking of form and stuff.
I think another thing this result does is it means probably it's kind of like, if it wasn't obvious already, it's probably given Shamrock over the league already.
Just they're not.
Well, Pat's like
that far away, but I can't see Pat's. Like,
if Pats are drawing at home to that Derry team, you're not winning the league.
Yeah, you're not.
You're not at the level to win the league.
Like, they're not. Rovers aren't like, or Shamrock Rovers. They aren't. they aren't so far ahead that you're going, okay, just give them the lead
No.
now. Like, they still have to stay on form and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't see them dropping off that much in the back end of the season. I don't see Pats or Bows
stepping
up that much.
Yeah, I think the results like that, if you're going to challenge for a title, results like that where 1-0 up at home against a Derry team who struggled, you have to win those games.
Yeah.
And they haven't, and Shamrock Rovers will be licking their lips now with one hand on the title already.
Yeah.
The last game is Bows Galway. I think it's exact similar boat for Bows. You have to win those games.
Yeah, you have to win those games.
When you're at home to, it's not an impressive Galway team. They're safe. They're in a safe spot.
Galway is kind of, they're a bit boring now.
They're floating around just like 7-6.
I mean, same with Derry. They could, they're not out of the.
They're not.
They still
but
could
they
come
would.
ninth.
It would take a catastrophic fall though.
They're only 2 points.
Yeah, but I just
Near.
think, I don't see it.
Yeah, no, it's the same with Derry. I don't see it, but there's doubt there. You have to stay on it.
Objectively, it could happen. I just think that Galway are just that team who's always going to come 8th. Like when both times that we went down, Galway were floating around that area.
And they play that kind of football where they, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, what am I on about both times? 2023 they weren't there. In 2025 they were floating around that area.
Yeah.
And then last
year
we
were looking at them saying, "Oh, can we catch them?"
But can we catch Galway? Can we catch Sligo? Can we caught neither of them? It was actually Waterford that ended up 9th. Yeah. Look, I just think you, as Bows, if you want to be serious about coming close to Shamrock Rovers, you have to win those games.
Yeah.
And it's just that's the difference.
I think this is just a typical Bows season as well.
Won the league in April.
Yeah, they do this every year.
I just don't think that. I think Bows will be disappointed with that because I think now that's the visible difference between Bows, Pats, and Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah.
Shamrock Rovers win those games. They go 1-0 up. They win that game.
Yeah.
Bows and Pats didn't.
No.
Yeah. We'll move on to the first division now. There was each team played twice, so we won't go over every game. But we'll go over how the teams did. We will go over the 2 city games though. If we start on Friday away to Finn Harps.
Yeah. Not a great first half.
No.
First half, I thought they were very poor.
It was very familiar. Do you know?
Yeah.
We've seen that first half a lot.
Yeah. I think it was your kind of typical first division game as well with us.
Yeah, where we're not that impressive, but we just
end up winning.
Shawnee Maguire made a big difference when he came on. All 3 goals.
You can see with Shawnee, he's just a cut above the rest. You know what I mean?
He's head and shoulders above everyone in the first division. And I think people have probably, especially last season, he probably didn't do enough.
Yeah, he was injured for a good while.
He was, but when he was fit, he probably didn't have enough standout games. And that's probably made people underrate him at this point.
Yeah.
But against Finn Harps, he changed the game completely. He was so much better than everyone else, and even as a sub, and he created Keith's goal with a brilliant reverse pass.
Yeah, it was nice.
The own goals. The own goal's an own goal. It's Joe Bradley Walsh sticks out his foot there to try clear it and goes in his own net. And then the third goal was assist by Shawnee Maguire. But Killian Murphy was
a lot of player.
Yeah,
and he's class.
He was brilliant. He was brilliant last night too, where we beat Athlone 3-2.
I think with Murphy, we have to keep on to him for at least for 1 year in the Premier Division.
Well, he turns 18.
He's 16,
so he can.
Or is he
no,
17?
he's 17 now.
Okay.
He can go to England next summer.
Okay.
So if he wants to go to an English club, we at minimum have him for half of next season.
Yeah, I think we need to keep him for the full season.
You'd want to, yeah.
I'd want to.
But there's
if we want to stay up next year, I think having him in there is vital. Like we saw with we were unlucky with Carl O'Sullivan in
the injuries
2025 because he was playing very well, and he was one of our standout players. But then obviously
he tore his ACL towards the end of the year.
Awful.
I do think there has to be a level of man management with Killian Murphy, which we probably didn't do enough of Carl O'Sullivan in the Premier Division, and that we can't play Killian Murphy and start him in every single Premier Division game.
Yeah, no.
He's not old enough to do that.
17,
Like Mason Melia, they didn't even do that with Mason Melia. Pats didn't, and Mason Melia was built. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Killian Murphy's tall, but he's lanky. Like
Yeah.
you can't put him up against brick shithouses in the Premier Division, and he's gonna get kicked up and down the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you know, he's good enough to beat those
he
players,
can play,
but he will get kicked.
Yeah,
so you can't play him every game.
No, you can't.
But he was man of the match for me against Athlone Town, with 2 assists. We blitzed them in the first half hour.
Yeah, first there. And Pongo had their right back. Who's their right back again?
Josh Farnham.
He had him on strings, like we saw it.
I mean, you're throwing a 17-year-old. Like, Farnham hasn't started many games, if any, for Athlone this season. You're throwing him against the league's top scorer.
Yeah, I know.
You're kind of asking.
I don't
You're
really
asking for it.
him. It's kind of
yeah. It's probably. I think Sean O'Connor will probably look at that and go, "That was the wrong decision to throw him up against Hans and Pongo," because Hans and Pongo had 8 in the first half. He that's straight food in the first half.
I think he came off at half time or.
No, he didn't.
Josh Farnham, I think he did.
Oh, you mean you mean Farnham?
No,
he came off at half time, and he was a lot better in the second half. Kyle O'Connor, he was a lot better in the second half than Farnham was, just because he's more experienced. He was better at dealing with Pongo. We made it hard for ourselves. Like, Bran had a poor spill before half time, and then we kind of Athlone definitely stepped it up in the second half.
Yeah, I think Athlone are a good team. Like, they moved the ball nicely.
I thought the other home game.
Like, I know they're like second last, but I thought they they didn't look like
the other game
that was second last.
You know the other game we played against Athlone. I'm trying to remember the score now. I'm gonna look for it.
Okay, what's that again?
The home game against Athlone where we won 4-1.
That would have been there.
We beat them 4-1, but they looked like a good footballing team when we beat them 4-1.
Yeah,
they went to play us when we beat the day we beat them 4-1. They went to play us, and
they tried to play football, but I think that makes them open as well
against a team like us for sure. But they were one of the more impressive footballing teams that played us, and that I thought at that day.
Yeah,
and they let themselves down the first half an hour, but they stepped it up for sure in the second half.
Yeah, definitely.
And 2 wins from 2. If we win the rest of our games, we can win the league in 4 games time.
Yeah, that's
away to Bray.
Good. I think these last 2 wins have kind of calmed the nerves a bit, because before that there was the
panic stations.
We lost to Longford. We
lost to UCD. Lost to Longford.
Yeah, lost to UCD.
Lost to Longford. Lost to Shamrock Rovers.
First.
Yeah,
Shamrock Rovers, and then it was
we lost
UCD.
5-1 to Cardiff, 6-1 to Cardiff.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's a friendly. That doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? So like, there was nerves after those games, because you were thinking like, Jesus, like, there's the form
what's going on
now? You know, last 2 games, just one,
a lot better.
Get back on track.
What do you make of our transfer window, just quickly? We've signed
Adu?
Joe Adu, we've signed Chris and Sa, but he has work permit issues, so he hasn't played yet. We've probably, like, the fan base are crying out for players. Do you think we need to sign more players?
I think we don't really need, like, as of now in the first division, no. But for players going, like, you know what I mean, you have to think about, because we are going to be in the Premier Division next year.
Yeah.
So like, you do have to think about that. But then we also have the, time between the end of this season and the start of next season to get players. So I'm not too worried.
I think if
we do need to improve our squad for next year.
If we sign 8 players in the window, 10 players in the window, or next window, then fine. But I don't think we're going to do that, personally.
Yeah.
I don't see us signing 10 players in the, like, we need 10 players.
Because we're going to lose players as well.
We need 10 players. I don't see us signing 10 players. So I wanted to see a little bit more in this window. It all depends. It all depends also. How much of a role will Chris and Sat and Joe Adu play next season? If they play, if they're like...
Where does Insat play?
Right back.
He's right back.
If Chris and Sat starts for us next year, which I'm hoping he will, and if Joe Adu is like one of our like bench players that plays, then this window's been grand. If we sign enough players in the thing. But if Joe Adu's here to the end of the season, we have an option to extend. If Joe Adu doesn't extend and Chris and Sa ends up being behind Harry and Evan or something, we've completely failed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We've completely failed.
Definitely.
And this window will be a failure unless we sign a load of players in the... Like, if we sign a load of players in the winter, then I'll take all this back. but we've kind of failed with how little players we've signed.
Yeah.
All right, so that is City's games. We'll move on to the first division.
Well, we're already in the first division.
Well, yeah, we'll move on to the rest of the first division. I think the biggest winners are absolutely Kerry.
Yeah.
They beat Cove 3-0, and who else they beat? They beat Bray 4-0, I believe. Yeah, they beat Bray 4-0.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Well, Kerry have had a fantastic season. Like where they finished last year?
I don't know. They were like 8th or something or 7th.
Yeah, like they're about 5th now. Like that's.
They were calling for Colin Healy's head.
Yeah.
Earlier in the window, or earlier in the season, and it's funny because the game that seemed to turn it around was when we lost to them in Mount Hawk Park.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they are exceptional.
Yeah, no,
they're an exceptional. They're playing Colin Healy has them playing serious ball. It looks like
it's good to see Healy doing well as well.
It is.
I like.
We have big love for Colin Healy here, but they just look like a team. They look like a unit. They're all united.
You know, even like when we played them at home there in April,
where we beat them 4-2,
went 2-0 down to them. Like they looked like a team.
They were a side. Like they were one of the best sides that came to the Cross. Like
yeah.
I just think they're having a great run of form, and I think if they take this kind of form into the playoffs, they could end up at the final.
No, I don't think they'll beat.
No, they won't.
Division
But
team,
it would be good to see them there.
Yeah, be great for
them. A team that probably hasn't had definitely had the worst weekend is Finn Harps.
2 red cards as well yesterday.
Two red cards. Lost 3-0 to City. We've touched on that game already.
Yeah, lost 5-0.
They lost 5-0 to Longford last night. It's
cards.
never easy to play when you have 2 red cards. But I mean, Longford are no great shakes. They've had, to be fair, Longford are in good form, and they beat Treaty on Friday. They beat us then before. They're beating Kerry, or not Kerry. They're beating Finn Harps. Longford have had a great weekend. Finn Harps haven't. They're rooted to the bottom of the table. Finn Harps. You'd hope Patrick McElhenney can get something out of them, but his first 2 games are 3-0 and 5-0 losses. Like, that's not cutting it, and they're probably going to end up last.
Yeah.
But Longford, I mean, people probably predicted Longford last or towards the bottom this year. They're in 4th.
They've done well.
They're high flying. They're like Wayne Groves has them playing. He is one of the best managers in the division. He has them playing serious. He has them playing serious football. They don't have a lot of resources. Like they're not the heaviest financial team. Yeah. The players they have probably aren't big first division names.
Yeah.
But they're a solid unit.
They beat us at the Cross. Like
that's a hard thing to do.
Oh, what was it? That's the first team that's beat us at the Cross. No, sorry, we lost to Cove.
Yeah, them and Cove are the first 2 teams to beat us at the Cross since in the first division since 2022.
Yeah,
it's impressive stuff. Like, other teams, Bray Wanderers haven't had a great weekend, losing 4-0 to Kerry and then losing to Wexford. Like Wexford aren't the best team in the world. Like they've been very on off this season. Like, you don't know what Wexford you're getting.
Yeah, you don't.
You actually don't. Like, and yeah, like Bray. They're just not that they want to challenge us, but like you'd want to have the gap close. Do you know what I mean? And they're losing that now.
They're 20 points behind.
Yeah, they're losing that now.
They're not making that.
No. Yeah, they're just but with their other form, there's going to be questions asked about how they've done.
I think with Bray now, you're more or less, well, you are guaranteed in the playoffs, basically. Mm-hmm. But like, you just want to keep performing so that when you get into the playoffs you can.
That is the most important part about the playoffs to me. If you go back in history and look at the teams that have done well in the playoffs, vast majority of them have had good form coming into that's what it's about. If you can come into the playoffs with a few wins on the bounce, you have serious, like Kerry, if you the form Kerry are in, if you go into the playoffs with that form, you're going to do well, but more than other teams. It's all about momentum in the playoffs. And Cove are similar. They've been very on off. They won on Friday. They lost badly to Kerry last night, with Roy Keane in attendance. Treaty have been similar. They won last night. They lost the other night.
Yeah.
Athlone drew one, lost one. Those teams are all just, they're kind of floating in the like lower mid table.
Yeah, but I feel like when you're there, it's like, because there's no threat of relegation. When you're in the first
that just
division,
happens.
you just kind of
You just float, like, yeah. I see that. Yeah. You just kind of when especially when.
Like, it's kind of like season's basically done.
For a team like Athlone as well, they're not.
I mean, you could be looking at play like Cove, Cadet, like.
Yeah, they're
the
3
same amount of
points
points as
Like, but I think that can happen a lot in the first division where form really dictates the table a lot because we're so far ahead taking points off everyone. It's so congested in the rest of the table that you just need a little bit of, you need a run of games to propel yourself up, and that's what Kerry have done, and that's what Longford have done, and other teams can do that going into the end of the season. 100%. So yeah, that's all the first division games. I think that about covers it. That was quite long. There was a lot of stuff to go on, but it was good.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the LOI recap section done, and